In today's video, for those that want to produce, I'm going to tell you what it's like playing the game and all the aspects you need to know. Coming up. Hey guys, James Martin here. Welcome to my series called Think Like a Producer, where I'm going to give you all the tips and strategies you need to know on how to produce a successful short film. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you take a chance to take a look at some of the videos that I post. I share tips of how to make great movies, as well as some of my own stories and my own strategies that I've done in order to make my own movies. And of course, you get to check out some of the work that I get to create. Okay, so if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing down below. All right, now let's get to the video. So to start off, the big thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was called playing the game, because that's essentially what you're doing as a producer. It's like your entire job is basically one big game. It's strategy, it's decision making, right? This decision will affect this outcome, right? So it's very important that you know all the options, all the stages, all the steps you need to do in order to produce a successful movie. So what does the producer exactly do? The producer's sole job is to take the script, get the money for the movie, and then put together a team so the movie can get done. That's essentially the producer's job in a nutshell, because the rest of the team will take care of its own. Now, if you're independent, sometimes you may have to take on multiple roles, right? Sometimes I've produced and become the first assistant director or become the production manager. There's a short film right now that I'm working on called Becoming One of Them. I'm producing it, but I'm also becoming the production coordinator and the production manager because we don't have anyone else on the job, because it's a low budget independent short film. So that's your main job. So you want to keep a good eye out for good scripts, have good connections to really good writers, make sure you're networking as much as possible and get to know as much crew and cast as possible, because it will help you down the line. It also helps to get to know investors, grants, you know, businesses that could give you sponsorship, right? Different people that could help you with a crowdfund, right? As well as building up that fan base of your own people so that you can raise money to make the movie. And just as a side note, what I just want to mention to you, of course, is that producing is like a game. It's like playing a game of chess, right? Because you have decisions to make and it's going to affect the different outcomes. And just, there's no right or wrong way. It's whatever works for you, whatever you want to do to make the movie, right? So I'm going to talk to you, for instance, about, you know, the goals and the destinies that you want to have for your movies, right? Some people want to get into a theater and do a premiere. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. Make sure everything you do is geared towards that, right? If your plan is to sell them on DVD, do everything it takes to get to that point. If you want to get into festivals, do that as well. Or if you just want to put it online for everyone to watch for free, that works too. Whatever the destination is of your movie, make sure you're making the decisions in order to get there. The third thing you need to know is pitching. So what is pitching exactly? In a nutshell, pitching is communication. That's a big key that you need to remember if you want to be a successful producer. It's the communication. So what's pitching? Pitching is basically you gotta take the story, take the script, and describe it and convince someone to be a part of the project in a nutshell, right? It's, in business, it's called an elevator pitch. It's pitching your project, right? You gotta know, of course, what the storyline is about, be able to describe that in a few words, and be able to describe like what's great about the movie, what's different about the movie, and bring people on board. Now, overall, your script should be able to sell its own, but it does help that you have that extra push and that extra energy behind getting that script out to potential investors, potential people to be on board, crew, cast, etc. All right, finally, I just want to go through a list of different items you want to look into in order to put your movie together. So the first part you want to look into are influencers. So influencers are people with big fan bases, right? Whether it's social media fan bases, maybe people are off social media. These could be different things, right? And it could be from your directors to your actors to different crew members, right? Even sponsors, anyone, right? The idea is that you're associating names with your project so that there's more people to come on board and check out your movie. So of course there's cast. Those are the people that are going to play the characters, play the roles, and technically the producer doesn't go and get actors. That's the job of the casting director's job as well as the director. You kind of sit in and just make sure that it's fitting right with the movie and whatnot. It's not an extremely outrageous asking for your budget, but sometimes you are going to go out and get those influencers, right? Especially for your key cast members. But a lot of the times it will be through your casting director, but it's something the producer may have to take on board. Of course, there's the crew. Everyone from your director all the way down to the PAs. Make sure you get a good crew to get your movie together. Make sure they work well with each other. They work hard, they're creative, and most importantly, make sure they're nice people. right? I've worked with a lot of people who they didn't fit well on set, they didn't fit well with the environment and with each other, and sometimes that can create some problems, right? And listen, in my experience overall, I don't care how hard the person works, I don't care how creative that person is, how much experience they have, if they're overall not a nice person, it's going to do more damage to your movie than actual good. So make sure that they're nice, they're creative, they're good at what they do, and they work hard. And that way you're going to have a good, solid crew. And then of course, as I said, is funding. So you want to know the different options you have in order to make some money so you can actually make your movie. So there's different options like crowdfunding, sponsorship, investors, all sorts of different ideas. Get creative, right? Think more like a businessman, not in terms of a filmmaker. When you're trying to get money, one of the key aspects is you want to make sure that whoever's giving money to your movie, they know they're going to get value in return. A lot of the times filmmakers kind of think that it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me, but you want to make sure that the other person is getting some sort of value. So if you're getting a sponsor, make sure that business is getting some value in return. If someone's donating to your crowdfunding site, make sure they're getting some sort of value in return. Partners and deals, these are ways of getting special privileges to help out make your movie. It could be anywhere from merchandise replacement to just partners to bring special connections, special opportunities to make your movie, right? Of course, distribution, this is what happens once the movie is done. There's various different options. You can put it in a theater, you can screen it, send it to festivals, put it on a DVD, put it online. There's many different ways you can do about it. But again, don't do everything, because if you do everything, you're actually not going to accomplish anything. So what I mean by that is don't take on too many things and make sure you're just being very, very strategic. So what I mean by that is if you send movies to a festival and you plan on doing a screening, as if the festival find out about the screening, they're not going to allow your movie to be in the theater, because they want to make sure that the tickets are sold to go to them, to go to the festival. That's how they make their money. So be very, very strategic. Or there's no point in selling a DVD before you're doing a theater screening, right? There's no point in putting online for free if you're going to charge people money to go watch it. So be very strategic and try not to do everything at once. Of course, there's marketing. This is how you're going to get the news of your movie out to your potential fan base, to your potential people that are going to watch your movie, right? So keep in mind about the type of audience that you want to collect. Keep in mind about the type of movies you're going to pursue, right? Because you may do horror movies, you could do fantasy movies, you could do action movies, kids movies, adult movies. It doesn't matter. Make sure that you're very aware of the type of audience that you want to repeatedly attract to your movies. And then think of different options of how you can market and get creative. Start a social media account, start YouTubing, start going on Facebook, start going on Instagram, start building up those client bases so you have those different channels when you're promoting and pushing out your content. So while you're in post-production, even while you're in pre-production, you can even be starting to think about the next movie you want to get made, because while you're in post-production, you can even start pre-production on your next movie. And that way there's a continuous cycle of movies you're just constantly pushing out again and again and again. You could work on 2 movies at the same time. It is a lot, but while it's in post and that's being taken care of by someone else, you can bring the next crew on to get started with the pre-production. And that's it, guys. I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please consider going down and subscribing to this channel. We do produce videos on tips on how to make great movies, as well as more information, interviews, podcasts, and more vlogs on how to make great movies. Let me know if you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments what was the most valuable tip you got out of this video, and what would you like to see more coming up. If you're interested in watching more videos, consider checking out these videos right here. All right, for now, take care.